A brand new law in California is stirring up controversy this morning. Governor Jerry Brown signed a bill last week designed to protect transgender students in the state's public schools, giving each of them the right to choose, for instance, which bathroom they will use and whether they will play boy or girl sports. And while supporters say it will cut down on bullying, which is always good, our next guest predicts it's going to be a recipe for disaster, and he is already pulling one of his kids out of public school because of it. California State Assemblyman Tim Donnelly joins us right now live from Los Angeles. Tim, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I understand you sat down with your two boys, one's 13, one's 16. They both go to public schools. And what were their concerns about this?
Well, when I first talked to him about it, my 13-year-old just had this horrified look on his face, and he said, "Seriously, Dad?" He said, "That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard." And they expressed real concern over using the bathroom in particular with a girl in the next stall. And you can't blame them. I mean, it's hard for some of us to remember when we were teenagers, but your body's going through incredible physiological changes, hormonal changes, and it's a very confusing time, and you're uncomfortable with yourself.
Sure.
The idea of using the restroom facilities or taking a shower, and showers are pretty much wide open, and being naked in front of someone that you might want to ask out, you know, we're talking about children here. We're not talking about adults.
Absolutely, and I understand you've already pulled one of your kids out. The other son, you're going to wait and see what happens. You're holding out that this bill is going to be repealed, right?
Well, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of coverage of the bill before Governor Brown signed it, but once he signed it, there's been a tsunami of discontent. There are multiple efforts, or at least an effort by multiple groups to repeal it. We have a referendum process here, but you only have 90 days to get 500,000 signatures. But, you know, when you look at this bill, it's a bad idea on so many different levels that it's hard to understand how it's going to help. I don't understand how it's going to help reduce bullying when you have a group of kids that, admittedly, even in the LA Times, is maybe 1.5% to 2% of the student population that identify as transgender. And there's no medical diagnosis or anything.
And so you say that we're making an accommodation for about 2% of the kids while we're violating the rights of 98% of the others.
Well, and that's what you're doing. If the problem is that you're not comfortable, how is it a solution to make the other 98% share that same intense discomfort? That's just not logical. Most of the schools, and I think this is really a question of, can the school administrators on site use their discretion as adults to make a private accommodation, which they have, and let students who identify as transgender to use private bathroom facilities? I would have loved to have a private bathroom when I was in high school. You know,
You're not alone.
So, yeah. So I think what we're doing, though, now we have government interference. We're basically having the government come in, and they claim that this worked in San Francisco and L.A. Well, I have a simple question.
Sure.
What's working in San Francisco and L.A.?
And Tim, now they're changing everything for all the kids in the name of stopping bullying. We're going to keep an eye on it and see what does happen out there. Tim Donnelly, representing the 33rd District in California. Tim, thanks very much for being the first person awake today in L.A.
Thank you very much.
All right.